Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little one of you gangsters trying to play hard.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Good evening to each and every one of you Cabalistas out there. My name is Ed with my partner Infinity, and welcome to our tournament this evening, the Infinite War of Celestial Seed, the Infinite Battle.
Yeah, it's the inauguration. It's the day 1. Well, at least the week 2, day 1 of the broadcast. It's the very first tournament here for our game in Cabal Infinite Combo. So it's really exciting. This will be the first time around that we're gonna see these teams play it live.
That's true, and we have lots of teams who signed up for this tournament. So, what are you waiting for, guys? If you're rooting for any one of the teams right here, so make you join the stream. Make sure that you invite your friends because we have lots of codes waiting for you guys, especially if we reach our milestone. And this is gonna be my first time casting with Infinity, so I'm really hyped and I'm really excited to at least tell you the story on what's about to transpire or happen in the world of Never. So Infinity,
sure.
do you support any of the teams right here?
Well, I saw a couple of teams that will be participating here today, and it's looking quite heavy this time around. We have a lot of familiar names today that will be playing. I think specifically No Bitter Please has been around for so long already, and they have been transitioning and have been making a name for themselves here in Cabal Infinite Combo. So really exciting stuff here. I'm just really interested who the players are going to be, what type of equipment they are going to have innately on their characters, considering that this tournament is going for their own equipment, specifically here for the Infinite War of Celestial Sea. We have another tournament that will be going on in the future that will have a standard equipment equating to every single one in terms of like equal combat power. So that's also going to be really exciting this time around.
That's true. And speaking of which, since we're talking about the tournament proper, you've seen a while ago, everyone, that they will be your own personal accounts. Okay, so I'm really, stoked as to know how much these players spent on their accounts just to earn the right to participate in this particular tournament, because there is so much at stake. Everyone, not just about the prize money. It's not just about the the loot, the bounty, but it's about the bragging rights as well.
For sure. And of course, this tournament will not be possible without our sponsors. Thank you very much, Fantech. Fantech is a global brand specializing in gaming peripherals. So if you guys need gaming peripherals, chairs, keyboards, mice, Fantech's for you.
And of course, we have VIU. It's a popular over-the-top streaming service that offers a variety of Asian entertainment content, including drama, movies, variety shows, and anime. And it primarily focuses on the content of South Korea, Japan, China, Thailand, and other Asian countries. And they will give 5 VIU premium subscription for 1 year. All you need to do is visit the website of VIU website, and of course, VIU Facebook. So if you guys are a really fan of Korean dramas, especially me, I'm a big fan of Korean dramas, animes. Make sure that you download and use View because it's really, really an streaming service or web streaming application that you can use.
Yeah, for sure. So these are what made this tournament possible as well. But of course, going back into this tournament, right? We have seen already a couple of players, couple of teams play it out in the prior week. It wasn't streamed. This will be the first day that we have our tournament streamed right into your screens. But we already have 30 teams play it out in the past week, and now we are down into the 16 teams left, and we'll
Hmm.
determine on who will come out on top.
That's and as of for me, I'm really excited to see what are the characters that they will be using because pretty much they're not allowed to have duplicates in their team. So you cannot have two force archers, two warriors, two force bladers. You can only choose one per class. So it depends on the execution as well, and pretty much how well built your guildmates character is, especially in terms of power, in terms of strategy, in terms of much, using these characters or classes into a team tournament.
For sure. And I think it's pretty much standard across the board, unique characters for the five that will be participating each and every single matchup. But that's the thing, right? What makes it so exciting for this tournament, especially, is that they're using their own character, they're using their own equipment, and they're using their own classes. So much comfort in terms of their matchup here today, and even in the following days to come, and even the next week, we're in the grand finals will set foot. So it's really eyes on the prize here for all of these teams on how they can perform and who will they or what will they do in this tournament here today, and what can they achieve in terms of their strategy coming forward into their respective matchups.
Hmm. Yep, that's true. That's true. And I think this is our, our tournament ladder. So you can see here, guys, we have here Don't Kill Me, who's advanced to our semifinals here, right here. And of course, we have Batang Hamog, No Bitter Please, H2K, Mumu Runners, Virus, and Ulti Place. Wow. But today we're just going to have three matches, and it's going to be best of three series.
Yeah. And I believe one of which would be No Bitter Please that will be setting foot in our very first matchup for today's stream. So that will be exciting, especially considering that this will be kind of like the first matchup that we can see and experience firsthand as well. And what type of classes they are going to put out in their respective parties, because this is a deal breaker. This will make or break their composition on how they can maneuver around the tournament, and how they can maneuver around the Infinite Wars of Celestial Sea.
Hmm. If I'm going to be asking you, Cedric, I mean, it's really, really, difficult for us to pick the proper character for this particular tournament. But if you're gonna be picking a character you will use in this event, where there's a lot at stake. So, what character is it going to be, and why?
Okay, so there's two primary classes that has been really one of the top picks. I mean, over the past few years that we have seen tournaments come across
Hmm.
here and there for Cabal, these two are really important. Force Shielder and Force Archer, to be more specific. These two have been one of those top picks because of a couple of reasons, right? Force Archer can heal, can negate the root of Force Bladers. You have Force Shielders that could negate a lot of damages as well. With those shields, those absorb damage. So those two classes are primarily what I'm looking for into this tournament that will have quite a high pick rate.
So for me, if you're gonna ask me the same question, I'll be rooting for the Force Blader class and pretty much the Dark Mage in terms of damage and firepower. And why Force Blader? Because we have a very 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 annoying skill in terms of using this particular class, which is you can freeze someone's mana, and you can hold a team position in just one place if you use Field of Execration. So it's gonna be a very very fun match to watch. If who's gonna go first, or who will be able to use their abilities first? Is it gonna be Force Archers, the Warriors, or maybe even the Shielders, or is it gonna be the Force Blader, who's very annoying in terms of team battles like this? That's why, in terms of MWAR, they are always getting uh, you know picked up first because they are annoying as
Yeah, for sure. And I echo the sentiment. I think Force Blader is also one of those obnoxious type of classes that you can really deal with just because of so much buffs or debuffs rather that can really put your opponents at a bit of a deficit. But also one thing to keep in mind as well, what I'm really looking forward to is the tournament that has standard equipments across the board because that a type of setting would really push your composition. You have to think about what type of composition you have to do, what type of strategy you have to really put out into those tournaments, especially considering that the likes have you the likes that you have mentioned, right? Having the Force Blader with that field of execration, you can negate that with that Force Archer that can negate the root. You also have the mana freeze that can be negated with the wizard buff with that extra mana. So those are some of the aspects that these teams have to consider. But going back, right, this tournament, they're using their own characters, they're using their own equipments. So it's going to be really exciting on how these teams have been equipping themselves for this tournament.
Yep, and I'm excited how are they going to execute the combos because at some point, just like what you said, you have to focus on a certain aspect. If you're going to be dealing damage, or pretty much you're just going to be in the back line, just like the Force Archers, or maybe Force Shielder, providing support so who can deal so much damage. But yeah, it's gonna be really really up to the players. I don't know how they practiced, how long they stayed up all night just to perfect their chemistry in terms of winning this tournament. But definitely they won't go down without a fight. And I am excited to see those fight happening anytime soon because I think our players are getting ready.
Yeah, for sure. And we're really looking forward into the very first game, into the very first matchup that we have for the day. But of course, for the viewers watching at home, tune in and invite your friends, invite your family, invite your colleagues, and even your guildmates because we have a lot in store for you guys across the stream. We have a couple of milestones, 150 and more in terms of those viewers. We're gonna bring out those codes for you guys that you can actually input into your game with respective rewards. So tune into that and invite your friends.
Yes, we're going to be giving out 4 codes for tonight, and if we can break those milestones, you will see them being displayed in the monitor. So, what are you waiting for? Just like what my partner Infinity said a while ago, invite your friends. You don't have to, you don't have to be a big fan of these guilds right here, but maybe if you are also one of their enemies, you can actually snoop and pretty much spy on them to have an idea what are the things that you can do moving forward. But again,
Yeah,
they're
for
not
sure.
limited to these players. They can switch out some players. They can switch out some of the members who's participating in the tournament in order for them to have a big pool of characters or classes in their arsenal.
Yeah. For with that said and done, though, personally though, Anduin, what type of
Mhm.
class do you reckon you like the best in terms of your personal play game through?
Well, if you're gonna ask me, I played the first when I first played Cabal. I started as a wizard because
I
because
see.
of the trailer. It was so cool, and then I ended up being a force blader in the end. That's why I am very very biased in terms of force bladers because I know what they're capable of, and I know what they can bring into the table in terms of strategies and fights like this. How they can easily lower the level of enemies, especially if you during PVEs. Okay, you can just use a field of enervation or enervation. If you want a swarm of monsters to level down, use a field of enervation. If you want a target, then use enervation. If you want to freeze someone's mana, especially if you're on a PV, just use mana freeze and execration in order for you to hold them in their place, and you can do whatever you want. You can unleash a series of attacks like assassinate, You know, what else? Seal of Damnation, Infernal Stigma, and many more.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's just the biggest aspect of having like a force blader. Those debuffs are going to be quite pivotal for a lot of these teams that will have that class into play as well. But yeah, it's just a lot to consider. But one of the perspectives that I really want to put out there for this tournament, specifically for Infinite War of Celestial Sea, given the fact that a lot of these teams and a lot of these players, if not all, are using their own characters with their own equipment, it will boil down to strategy. Who will be the main
Mm-hmm.
target here? What will they do inside of the tournament? What class are they going to prioritize this time around? Because the thing is, like, all these players are going to be stacked. In terms of expectation that I have right now, these players have so much of high level gears and high level combat powers that it will boil down into coordination, into chemistry, into what they will do inside of the tournament when it is already there in that 5v5 setting.
That's the thing. You don't know who's gonna be the target. For example, if a Force Blader is in the opposing side, and then suddenly that particular Force Blader decided to debuff someone from your team, how can you be sure that that particular player is the one that the Force Shielder, or sorry, Force Blader debuffed? So you really have to really pay attention to the details, since especially when the Force Blader is executing his or her skill in this matchup, because it's going to be really, really crucial thing to notice these animations, or maybe special effects that's being executed by this really, really annoying class, which is the Force Blader. And speaking of which, I also want to recognize a very new class that was introduced to Cabal. That's I think Force Gunner. That's the Force Gunner. I think that a Force Gunner can also offer a lot of damage in terms of tournaments like this. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be, a class that they can consider in terms of firepower, or maybe even dealing damage in a very long range. So we are really, really excited, because this is going to be the first day of the Infinite War of Celestial Sea. So again, make sure that you spam that reaction button, hit that like, share this stream in order for us to hit our milestone. Give us 150 viewers and we're going to pop up our first code for the night.
Yeah, and as you have mentioned, right, Force Gunner, one of the first, or well, one of the few new classes introduced quite a bit back then. You also have Dark Mage that followed suit right after, so really exciting stuff here. What these players are really, really hyping for, and what they're really going for in terms of their compositions. But to set the expectations straight here, Force Archer, Force Shielder, Blader, these are some of the high priority picks, just because the Blader as well is one of the most, or one of the highest single DPS class in the game as of yet. But there we go, expectations have already been answered by these two teams.
Okay, so for no better, we have Force Archer, Force Gunner, Blader, Force Blader, and Force Shielder. And for the VP brothers, we have Force Blader, Force Gunner, Force Archer, Force Shielder, and pretty much they have the same team composition, and it's pretty much mirrored. But again, just like what Infinity said a while ago, it's gonna boil down to the chemistry. It's gonna boil down to the execution. How long have you guys been teammates? How long have you guys been doing this? So once again, everyone, this is the first day of the Infinite War of Celestial Sea Infinite Battle. So if you guys are supporting any of the teams right here, please make sure that you comment your support in the comment section.
Yeah, I mean, Force Gunner and Force Blader, they have been locked in. I mean, these are some of the additions to what we have mentioned a while ago, right? The Force Shielder, the Force Archer, these two classes cannot go away from a composition just because of their pivotal roles each and every single time. These two, if they're removed, it's going to be so difficult, especially considering if the opponent has them in their favor. So one of the perspectives and one of the key things to take note of into this matchup, the priority targets should be the Force Archer. These should be the key target for any team, just because of the healing, just because of the sustain. If you don't remove it, the composition will just get healed every single time.
Yep. I'm also leaning towards the Blader right here, who can deal so much damage, especially if you can perfect that combo. Uh, you will see lots of blues like coming in because Blader is capable of dealing so much critical damage because of his buff as well. Because maybe we don't need to rely so much on the Force Archer or the Force Shielder because Blader is more than capable of providing buff to themselves. They have lots of buff as well in order for them to at least outlast an opponent and survive a very long fight.
It's a double-edged sword for Blader, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the highest single target DPS that you can have in the game, alongside with a Gladiator. These two are really top-notch in terms of that damage aspect. But one of the downsides of having a Blader is that it's very selfish in terms of the buffs, in terms of the skills, in terms of pretty much like being selfish across the board in his skill set. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're gonna have a Blader, it's all about that pure damage in comparison to the likes of a Force Shielder that has a lot of party buffs, that has a lot of party shields, Force Archer with a lot of party heals as well. So these things are coming into consideration for these players and for these teams. But overall, let's touch on to the Force Blader and the Force Gunner as well. These two are going to be those sub targets for these teams. If Force Archer is just going around dashing and fading across the board and you can't really just put an eye on it, Force Gunner and Force Blader will be next. These two, in terms of that defensive capability, are not really the best at it, right? Blader, if you consider, has invisibility for a couple of seconds, for a couple of duration with his skill. So that's something also for these teams that they could really pivot themselves to keep an eye on.
That's true. That's true. Because they can just easily, if you keep running around, they can just chase you with a force kick. So it will be executed pretty much easily by, by the players. They can do that. But again, we have lots of things to consider. How are you going to pop the skills? Will you be able to pop it on time? Will you be able to lots of stuff as you roam around the field? Because as you can see right here, everyone, the arena is not really that big.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all open space because considering the pasts, it wasn't in Lakeside. It's a bit more of those one of those places that really has a couple of obstacles, but this time around it's all open field. So it's going to be really exciting how these teams are going to be just roaming around the tournament area, considering it's all about open space. So in terms of focus target, in terms of prioritizing key classes and key players, it would be a lot easier alongside with those force kicks that will be much important into reaching that distance closed for any of these teams. But I'm looking at these players and I see a few names that are very familiar in the Cabal scene.
So why don't we in the names of our players? So we have here from No Bitter. Okay, No Bitter, please. We have Pot Jang, Zazale, Pizza Box, Mr. Rom, and Lord Hate. And what about from the teams of Batang Hamog?
Yeah, for the other side, you have Bloodlust, you have IEZ, you have the Force Gunner, you have Dayuni, and you also have Empress Yamato from Batang Hamog.
Wow, it's really, yeah, we can't read that name. Okay, so they're buffing up right now, everyone. I think we can see it in our screen right here. So our teams from No Bitter is getting definitely. I think Bloodlust is losing so much HP right here. Same goes with Empress Yamato. Dayuni is down. Our Force Gunner is still alive. Empress Yamato trying to survive, but I think she's gonna go next. Easy is already down, but Easy is still alive. I'm so sorry. Yamato is also down right here. Dayuni respond. Empress Yamato HP is really getting low. We have no damage coming in from the side of No Bitter, please.
Yeah, and this is what we're mentioning, right? In terms of the what it boils down into is, of course, like coordination, but on top of that, the important thing is like equipment, your combat power. And I think the thing is, the familiar name that I was mentioning a while ago was Zia Salea. And Zia Salea, ever since the dawn of time, has been stacked in terms of that combat power. So No Better Please overall is a very familiar name in the competitive scene, and they're showing once again why they are as such.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're a force not to be reckoned with, and definitely it was an easy win for them. But still, I won't cross the other side of the team out yet because we are still doing this tournament, and it's a best of 3 series. So still get they can still have a chance to catch and pretty much, try to win this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. There's still always an opportunity for sure. But that power coming in from No Better Please is an exceptional sight to behold. But overall, the composition very equal, and yeah, it's just the preparation for No Better Please being showcased here in match 1.
Right. And also, I was surprised because they didn't receive any damage at all. It's like, they, the other side of the team wasn't even capable of putting on damage on them, especially when everything went down. So the Azalea is really, really aggressive. He marched down straight in the face of the enemy and pretty much everyone helpless and wrecked have the other side of the team.
Yeah, and I think on top of that as well, it was a Force Gunner that did most of the damage there, if not all of the damage. I think it was Rom who was able to just go in on that with, I believe it was a BM3, was it, or BM2. He just used across the board, just went in, dealt damage, it's over. It was really, really easy with a blink of an eye.
That's why, this tournament is really, really an amazing, thing to watch because it really displays how much our community supports the game. They are more than willing to hype the game, not just hype but pretty much spend money in this game in order for them to get an advantage, in order for them to get a head start, or pretty much everyone in this. So it's gonna be worth everything, or worth every peso or penny that they did.
All right,
so
No Better
trying to
Please.
approach.
Game 2 already. They have the advantage. One down already. Empress Yamato already gone here. Batang Mog already in danger as the Force Gunner goes down. It's No Better Please just showing their dominance across the board. And Zia Salea just standing across the front line and dealing damage. And there is just no fight. No Better Please. The dominance is just being showcased here in game 2.
Exactly. I mean, Ziazalea is an archer. And he is just standing in the middle of the arena. It's like he's asking for it. Oh, come on, come get me. But again, the damage is not there. Mr. Roma, however, is close to being knocked out. But I think that's not the case right here. They're trying to do his best, but it's not going to be enough. Will he be able to survive this? I don't know. It's gonna be a 5v1 situation, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, we didn't even last 5 minutes or even half of the timer, and No Better Please just ended it in a best of 3 series. No Better Please comes out on top here in the quarterfinals to proceed into the next matchup.
Okay, No Better Please, congratulations. It reminds me of one of the enemies in Cabal, the bitter leaf.
Nice.
The bitter leaf.
That's like what, one of the first few monsters that you can fight.
Yeah, and in Green Despair. So No Better Please. I mean, that was just crazy. I can't imagine someone standing in front of an entire 5-man team, duking it out, pretty much dealing damage. No, this is a Force Archer that we're talking about right here, and that is Ziazalea. Just like what you said, Infinity. They just really proved themselves worthy of being in this tournament and pretty much earning the name of that being well known in the competitive scene of Cabal.
Yeah, for sure. And I think overall it will be the second or the third team that they have defeated already here in Infinite War of Celestial Seas. Like you have Nasal, and then you already have Baranghamog going down from this fight against this team. The dominance is just too much to handle in this tournament here right now. In our second week and the first day of our live stream. But no bitter please, proceeding into the tournament will now be facing up against Don't Kill Me in the following days here in Cygna server. But the following series that we have on our hands here, Anduin, would be H2K versus Mumu Runners.
H2K and Mumu Runners. I can't really wait on what are they going to offer on the table right here, because I didn't expect the matches to be this fast. I mean, I was expecting it to last at least 3 minutes or 4 minutes, but for it to end like within less than a minute or maybe more than a minute, not even exceeding 2 minutes, it's just really, really crazy, man. I really want to ask them this particular question: how much did you spend in your account?
Oh, we don't talk about those. We don't.
Yeah,
talk
that's true.
about
That's
those
true, though.
anyway.
That's true, though.
That's like a secret you never tell anyone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty much
But-
something that you keep to your grave. And I feel like no bitter please. Zias Leia, to be specific, we've seen him in real life events in the launch of Cabal Infinite Combo and even a PC version on the Notice. So we'll see what they can still provide here in this tournament.
That's true. I'm really, really hyped right now. I mean, it's been a while since I enjoyed tournaments like this, because okay, there's the highlight. As you can see right there, guys, Dayuni is trying to focus on Pizza Bot. I think Dayuni is not successful in doing so, and there you have it. As you can see, Dayuni trying to run for dear life, but of course, the last shot coming in from Ziazalea did most of the job, and that's it. That's gonna be the game. It's gonna be the game for Team No Bitter Please.
Yeah, and it's pretty much combat power against the world. It's like if you're gonna rank the importance of the things that you have to consider in this tournament, since it's their own character, it's their own equipment, like number one would be combat power for sure. If you have like the average combat power for those 5 players, double, triple the amount of your enemy, there's no fight to uphold. So we'll see what these teams can still do with the power of No Bear Please, or if other teams could fight in a hand-to-hand combat down the road in Series 2 or Series 3.
If I will be, there you go. So we've reached our first milestone. Congratulations to us. So as you can see, guys, we have the code right here. So make sure that you check this one out. You try to copy it, try to write it down, and claim it inside the game in order for you to get some awesome rewards from Cabal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
And
really,
again-
really good stuff, right? We mentioned a while ago, if we reach certain milestones, we're going to have codes be given away to the viewers watching at home, and that is the first of many for the Cabalistas out there.
That's true. And of course, we just need the 200 more. If we can reach 200, we're going to pop up our second code for the night. And of course, this tournament won't be possible without our sponsors. Again, one of our brands is Fantech. Fantech is a global brand specializing in gaming and pretty much any type of gaming purse that you need. That includes gaming keyboards, mice, headsets, chairs, and other esports gear. It is known for its affordability and quality, so Fantech targets most casual and professional by offering stylish, ergonomic, performance-driven products. They will give
And of course,
five Fantech HQ53 Flash 7.1 gaming headset for this tournament.
And of course, thank you very much to View as well, one of our brand sponsors that made this tournament possible. But before we jump into the next series for the day, we're just going to take a short break. And when we come back, it's Series 2 of Infinite War of Celestial Sea.
See
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Welcome back. It's game 2 or series 2 for the Infinite War of Celestial Sea. We're still the same people. We're still the same casters. My name is Infinity, and together with me is Zan Duin. And Duin, what's your thoughts about game number 1 or series 1? Because that was quick and swift.
It is. I was really impressed by the performance of No Bitter Please because, good lord, seeing that Force Archer trying to get into the middle of the arena and then trying to pretty much taunt everyone to just attack him and pretty much ignore most of his teammates. It's really insane. I haven't seen that kind of bravery, okay, especially into characters like Force Archer, who's just really mostly providing and pretty much debuffing everything that's being thrown to his or her teammates. So if you're gonna ask me, no bitter, please. They are really something that you should watch out for in this tournament because they have a very big potential.
Yeah, for sure. So no bitter please. We're gonna keep an eye on you onto the following days and the following weeks of this tournament. But this time around, Series 2 on our hands. It's Moo Runners up against Hard to Kill.
And we have here the lineup, of course, for the Moo Runners. We have a new class into the mix. So we have Dark Mage right here. We have Dark Mage and Wizard. If I'm gonna be asking you, Infinity, what's the difference between a Dark Mage and a Wizard?
Okay, I think in terms of these two classes, there's a stark difference. Wizard is primarily going into buffs. It's going in for more of like a damage glass cannon type of setup. And Dark Mage is also the same, but the difference is that Dark Mage is more going for debuffs and Wizard is more going for buffs for the team. So these are two drastic difference between these two mage type classes.
And as you can see below for Hard to Kill, we have Force Blader and we have no Dark Mage. So difference in the mix. So I really want to see how a Dark Mage will pretty much contribute in this tournament right here. Will a Dark Mage be able to make a difference since Dark Mage is also capable of dealing damage and pretty much debuffing a character. So you're up against a Force Blader. So if there is particular classes crosses their paths, so it's gonna be a bath.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what Hard to Kill is going to do with this type of setup, no Force Archer, going with Force Blader, Wizard, Force Gunner, Blader, and also the Force Shielder, is primarily going for like a burst type of composition. But this time around, it's match 1 between these two teams.
Wow. Okay, so for the Moo Runners, let's introduce the players, partner. So first we have Machamp, PK God, Skip, Hard, and Ivilio Aram.
And for the opposite side,
Moo
they have... Yeah. For H2K, you have Variesto, B2TE. Zephyrus, you have Nanan, and you also have F2P Batang for H2K.
Okay, wow. So we have here two nation. We have the Cabal and Procyon. So when you were playing Cabal, what's your nation?
I'm Procyon all the way, always. But enough of that. It's match 1 of the series. It's Moo Runners up against H2K as they buff already for both sides.
Okay, Variesto right here coming in. Seal of Damnation being committed to Skip right here, but I think Skip is gonna live with half HP right here. Everyone, Knight is just in the center of the arena to cause damage, but he's not hitting anyone so far. Ivilio Aram is already low on health, and what's gonna happen now? That's gonna be Seal of Damnation. See any assassinate or quick catalyst coming in from our First Blader, but we have here bad mode 2 coming in from one of the Blader team right here. Quick cataclysm right here coming in. Is it gonna hit? No. Okay, there you go. Damage.
Reflect shield coming from Ivilio, trying to buy time. AOD as well popped up already, but the Wizard goes down for Moo Runners. It's going to be a member deficit here. A Skip goes down as well. It's a 3v5 for now. 3v5 is still up. H2K still trying to get a hold of Moo Runners this time, but they have the upper hand. There's no more escape for Moo Runners. and this is pretty much a done deal as H2K just trying to find the last remaining members here for Moo Runners with Matchup and PK God left with the Force Archer, the only one remaining. It will be the end of Moo Runners, and H2K comes out on top for game one.
We still have some fights going on right around here, guys. We have kill count 4 for H2K. We need to reach at least 7 in order for them to get a point. So will they be able to take down the remaining members of Moo Runners, and that's gonna be it. Wow. That was not as swift as I thought it will be, partner. I thought it's gonna be ending in a swift or in a blink of an eye, but definitely they put up a fight with each other right here. Moo Runners tried their very best to compete against H2K, but it came out short. Do you think they can still like recover from this loss right here?
There's always that possibility, right? We're not discounting the fact that there's always that opportunity for that flip around, for that turnaround, or even for a kind of like a win coming in for hard to kill, but rather for Moo Runners. However, it's like how H2K was trying to focus target. This is what we've mentioned a while ago, right? Focusing your targets is going to be very important. The coordination of these teams are also going to be pivotal, coming from any teams that will be participating here today. So that is something that H2K was able to do.
And I can see that they're just focusing on the one target. They're not roaming around. They just want to go after one single target. That's why after one player from Moo Runners went down, they're gonna go on to the next and on to the next until such time that there's no more players standing for the side of Moo Runners.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's just pretty much how it goes, right? And the thing is, like, once you bring down a member, it's going to be so much easier for your team if you're still a full party. Considering as well that Moo Runners lost the Wizard, lost the Blader successively, and it was very swift that H2K was able to do that. So after then, it was just a member advantage for H2K all day long, and Moo Runners just had a hard time. The Force Shielder as well being targeted across the board. It wasn't that easy for H2K to bring down the Force Shielder, considering it is a Force Shielder, but the damage was sufficient enough. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, game number 2, just on the corner here, coming down for H2K up against Moo Runners. We saw the performance coming in from game number 1, and we talked about and we discussed a little bit about the potential of a comeback coming in for Moo Runners, and that's something I'm really looking forward to, because the thing is, like, us clusters, we love those game 3s in the best of 3 series going to the maximum amount of games. But yeah, H2K, the thing about their composition, we discussed about this a while ago already. They don't have any Force Archer. It's all about that damage. They have the Force Blader, they have the Wizard, they have so much capability of just putting down those classes very easy.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, is picking a Dark Mage maybe somehow affected their chances of winning in terms of team composition? So as you can see, this is the first time that we've seen the Dark Mage being introduced in the tournament. So do you think that has or that contributed a factor in order for us to at least analyze if it's going to be one of the factor?
Okay, so the thing is, for me personally, in this type of setup, in this tournament wherein you're using your own characters, wherein you're using your own equipment, it doesn't matter, right? Because the thing is, your fighting, your battle in this tournament is all about your combat power. But this time around, it's game number 2 here. H2K already on the lead. Can Moo Runners bring it back?
There you go. We have here some clash happening on the bottom left corner of the map,
PK
but
God.
we have here lots of things happening, but still there's no one hitting the ground so far. But that's gonna be our first kill for the night. PK God is down and out, so that's a count for Team H2K.
Now you have the Art of Defense here by Avilio Airgun just trying to buy time, but PK God already gone. H2K going to catch up. As matchup goes down, no more heals, no more sustain left here. You already have 2-3 kills coming in from H2K's side. No more runners, still on a massive deficit. Avilio Airgun going for a BM2, having the target onto Sephiroth, but no damage is coming across. And that is just sufficient enough. H2K literally hard to kill. Momo runners trying to run away, trying to buy time, but not enough HP for them to survive. And hard to kill overall will once again eviscerate Momo runners in game 2 of this series in round 8.
Wow. H2K, congratulations. Because of that, H will be our second team winning this tournament. On the second week.
They won, and they proceed into round 8 for the tournament, going into the quarterfinals for each of their respective sides. So really exciting stuff here. We already have No Bitter Pleas up there, and now we have H2K that will follow suit.
I mean, it's really hard to put up a fight against H2K, especially they're that aggressive and pretty much they are very synced in terms of attacking or pretty much defining who to target first. And I can definitely see that they're coordinating with each other. Like, let's try to target this particular character first before we head on to the next target, in order for us to at least have or we can focus one damage in a certain character, and that's gonna be easy for you to pick off the rest of the members one by one.
Yeah, for sure. So amazing stuff coming from Hard to Kill. They really just put up another showcase of dominance. Not as quick as we have seen into series number 1 for today, but still quick enough. I believe it was just like 2 minutes, under 3 minutes even, for those two games to conclude. But yeah, I'm really excited because now we're down into the final series for the day.
And I'm very excited. If you guys are excited, that you share this stream to your profile, make sure that it's in public in order for us to hit our second milestone, so we can pop up the second code for you guys. Okay. So a while ago I was really amazed by how players coordinate with one another. They are really talking in the background. As you can see, our players have their cameras revealed. They're talking to one another. They're trying to formulate a strategy, how to cover, or maybe even how to really nail, or put the nail in the coffin in terms of winning this series, right? And again, a job well done coming in from H2K, or Hard to Kill.
Yeah, for sure. And even in the first couple of seconds, right, like how Hard to Kill was able to maneuver around Lakeside, around the tournament area, despite having that Shadow Shield available already that Ivelio was using for his teammates. It did not come about enough for the Wizard to survive, for Skip to survive, and even PK God, who was FF'd at the first couple of seconds into the game, got just dusted in the first few seconds of that match. So it really is highlighting the amount of combat power, or the amount of strength that Hard to Kill has in the respective players, in the respective equipments for their characters. So yeah, I think it's a much deserved win for H2K.
That's true. And it's gonna be we still have one match left for this evening, so don't go anywhere, everyone, because again, we are going to have this awesome highlight right here. As you can see, again, Pretty much everyone is roaming around the PK. God is trying to survive as long as he can, but got taken out in the process. Machamp as well is really trying his best to move around the area just to at least call the attention of the other players from H2K, but it didn't work. And there you go. I think so good about this stuff that H2K is really showing us is that we don't really pay attention to the decoys. We're gonna focus more on the objective, which is for us to take down crucial or the pivotal class in this particular matchup right here. So I think they were successful in doing so, and that's why they earned themselves that.
Yeah, for sure. Well deserved win here coming from Hard to Kill. And now we're down to our last bout. We're down into our last matchup for the day, at the very least, here in round 16.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay. We have the code right here, everyone. Congratulations once again, because we just reached our second milestone. So what are you waiting for, everyone? Make sure that you log into the game. Try to copy the code right here, and you know what to claim it inside the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just put it into your game and receive your respective rewards as we have reached our second milestone for the day. And we have more incoming for you guys, so stay tuned and invite your friends, invite your guildmates here in the first day of Infinite War of Celestial Sea here in this live stream.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think it's fine if we also mention our sponsors who made this tournament possible. So why don't you go ahead, partner?
Yeah, thank you very much to Fantech and VIU. So much amazing gaming peripherals, and of course, a platform where you can watch variety of entertainment content. But that's it for now here. Series 2 has already concluded. We're just gonna take a short break, and when we come back, it's Series 3, the last series for the day.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
And we're back. It's a final series. It's the last series for the day. Infinite War of Celestial Sea, in which we will determine the next on who will be coming up next into the next bracket here.
That's right. So everyone, again, I know you guys are excited. You guys are all hyped up. So make sure that you spam the reaction button in order for us to get lots of viewers, and of course, in order for that Cabal is back, and pretty much they are really coming back strong, and we are gathering lots of players, not just here in our country, but pretty much all around Southeast Asia. So make sure that you share in your profile and you invite some of your friends or families to watch this video, because this is going to be pretty exciting.
It really is. It really is. It's the very first day here of our tournament for Cabal Combo Infinite. So it's really just exciting stuff. And of course, we're seeing a lot of these compositions comes to life, and we're seeing a lot of these players also compete into the tournament today. And so far, it has been quite quick. It has been quite swift. But maybe this time around, with our next set of matchup, maybe it will be different. Maybe we'll see a 3-game best of 3 series, or maybe not. It really depends on these teams, but I'm really excited overall here, Anduin.
Yes, same. I am very, very excited as well, because we are now going to go to Game 3, and that's going to be Ultiplays versus the Virus Guild. And as you can see right here, everyone, okay, we have some interesting lineup right here, Infinity.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And once again, I don't think that these compositions specifically, with their own characters, own equipment, and whatnot, will make such a drastic difference in terms of the battle, just because these these players and these characters are pretty much like the highest combat powers individually for these players. So it's a battle of combat power this time around. But what's interesting for me, I think one of the non-debatable class that you should have in each and every single tournament would be a Force Shielder. And this time, there isn't any for the Virus Guild. So that's something that I'm really afraid of. Like, what would Virus Guild do without the Force Shielder that could really, really change the tide of the matchup? Just because the Shadow Shield for the whole party that can negate quite a bit of damage. But I think once again, what Virus Guild is thinking, you know what? We don't need a Force Shielder. We're just going to go all in terms of damage, and we're just going to dominate in terms of our combat power.
Yep. And of course, we have here the the buff that a Force Archer can bring to the party. At least they didn't forget that one, because if all else matters, I don't know. Maybe they're just gonna rely mostly on the Gladiator in terms of the Virus Guild to pretty much go in and deal so much damage together with the Blader, and then have the Force Archer use the mass heal and pretty much the offensive bless in order for them, or in order for him to at least support the two main damage dealer in Team Virus Guild, that is pretty much the Gladiator and the Blader. As for the Dark Mage, of course, we have the debuff while causing damage. I'm not sure how is this gonna play out, but it's gonna be an advantage on team ulti plays right here, because they have a Force Shielder, just like what you said, partner.
Yeah, for sure. So those are some of the perspectives that we can really look at coming in from this matchup. And also the Force Archer could definitely do some heals here for ulti plays. But what I'm fearful for, right? We had looked at some of the disadvantage for the side of Virus Guild in terms of their composition, but for ulti plays, the thing is, like, their composition is more leaning towards that defensive side. They have the Warrior, they have the Force Archer for those heals, they have the Force Shielder. So in terms of those damage, yes, they still do have it, but in comparison to Virus Guild, it's a bit lacking, right? So it's a battle of a bit of balance and a glass cannon composition, which we all know what the pros and cons are going to be. Glass cannons are all about damage. A balance, a draft, it's a little bit better overall in terms of competitive scene, but it doesn't exactly put that drastic difference, because these players are using their own characters, using their own equipments.
Okay, speaking of which, let's now introduce our players for from Ulti Plays. We have Rafael, we have Decidido, Habal, Luna, Balayong, and Maab. And for the Virus?
For Virus side, you have No Tail, you have Innocent Zero, you have Ro James, you have Chicken Nuggets, and you have the Force Archer.
And of course, we're now gonna start the match. If you guys are excited, make sure that you're spamming the action button, because we are now gonna go to our next game right here. And there you go. Buff is being committed. Decidido Muhabal. And there you go. We are now gonna look at it. Rafael trying to force kick. Force kick in the back.
Now.
But okay. They just took down the Force Archer. And now we're gonna head straight to the Dark Mage, or the Gladiator. Okay, Chicken Nuggets is being taken out. Bro James right here is still surviving. Big Daddy No Tail is trying his very best to survive, but I don't think he's gonna last long. Bro James, however, is now half HP. What's gonna happen now? But it's still, the kill count is just neck and neck. Kill count 2 for Ulti Plays and kill count 1 for Virus.
Yeah, for Virus. A bit of a huge deficit already. Ulti Plays, initially when they started, it's just a force kick into the backside as Force Archer goes down. Now, Virus on the corner, left stuck here, up against Ulti Plays as they're showing who is boss here in game number 1 here in this series. And so far, it's all about that target. No Tail already goes down here. And Virus, they still have a couple of players up and running. However, soon enough, Ulti Plays, in terms of like kill count comparison, they are still on a massive lead. And Innocent Zero goes down once more. And Ulti Plays, whoa, once again, or rather, find their win here in the series.
Wow, it was so intense. I spoke a little bit Tagalog right there. I'm so sorry. It got so intense. Okay, but definitely it is a really an amazing job coming in from Ultiplace. Just like what was mentioned a while ago by Infinity. There's a kick. There's a force kick coming in from the back. They know who to target. They know a player for a team, for the opposing team, and they just took down the Force Archer. And after the Force Archer went out, there's no heal, there's no defense. Here we're gonna see the highlights right here, everyone. As you can see on the get go, Rafael with the Force kick coming in to Force Archer, and suddenly the Force Archer is down and cannot provide more support to the team. And after that, they got off one by one, and that is the cruciality of you knowing who to target first.
And here's the thing. Here's the massive thing that I really want to consider, right? The biggest downfall for Virus is that they went in for glass cannon. So really, what they want is to put out massive amounts of damage. However, you have to consider Ultiplace has that force shielder. And when the game started, when the match started, Shadow Shield was up. It's pretty much a very difficult time for Virus to bring down these opponents with over 5,000 shield amount coming down from that Shadow Shield, from the Force Shielder. And it was really difficult as well, considering that they had Force Archer with the sustain, with the heals. And it was just a huge wall for Virus to overcome. And that is also one of the reasons why I was stating a while ago that Force Shielders are one of the non-negotiables that you need in a lineup, that you need in a composition to be able to at least gain that innate advantage up against your opponent.
It's really true. I really just want to acknowledge everyone for making it possible for us to reach the 300 milestone. So here's the code for everyone. So thank you so much for the undying love and support for this game right here. So again, here's the code, everyone. Make sure that you grab it, you type it, you log into your game, you enter the code, and you grab yourself that reward because you deserve it. So thank you so much once again, everyone, for the support.
Yeah, P3M7B882. Those are for the viewers watching at home. So type in and get your respective rewards. And then, game one was feisty.
It is. I am to game number two. So, game number two, despite being on a disadvantage, I'll see how are they going to adjust. Will they put more people around the Force Archer in order for them to at least make it hard for the other players from Ultiplace to target Force Archer? Because you have to at least click or make sure that you press the right command in order for you to target the right class or character. Because if you force kick a different character, it's gonna be a huge disadvantage for you because you engage on a wrong character.
Yeah, it definitely is. So really, how Ultiplace played that out, it was really good. It was well done coming in from that team. They also had that Shadow Shield for that extra defensive capability overall as a party. So that is a huge upside coming in from this team. However, as we have mentioned during the draft, right, Ultiplace is playing a bit more defensive. They have the Warrior, they have the Force Shielder, they have the Force Archer. So if anything, and that's something that Virus could really look at. Just look at the squishy targets coming in from their opponents to be their focus fire, to be their key targets. Although it will be quite a difficult journey for them to be able to do so. Now, the thing about Warrior, we haven't really discussed it a bit too much just because it's not as high of a priority as we're going to look at in terms of these compositions. But one of the big things about a Warrior is the sustainability of itself. You also have the capability for that Panic Cry as a debuff against your own opponent. So once you do that Panic Cry, it's all about, it's all eyes on that specific target to bring down. So that's something that that you can really just highlight in terms of a Warrior. But overall, it's not really that high of a priority.
That's true. And it's not just about the Panic Cry. Panic Cry can, pretty much debuff your opponent. But when it comes to buffing the party members as well, we have the Fury Shout and the Morale Shout.
Sure.
That will pretty much help them gain the advantage because it will increase your attack and HP drastically in this game right here.
Yeah, and I think we have that possibility of seeing a lot more warriors, or possibility of having like more effects of those buffs that will be quite crucial when we're going into the tournament that has a standard equipment for all. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, because it's that type of tournament that will really be the strategy, that will be the coordination, that's really about that chemistry and what you're really going for, and that communication overall across the team. So I'm looking forward to that, because from what I've heard a while ago, we're gonna have that pretty soon.
Mhm. There you go. There you go. That's the Shadow Shield, the morale shout. Okay, being committed right here by Team Ultiplays. I think we have the same thing happening for Team Virus right here. But again, it focuses. They just really wanted to focus on one single target, and they're trying to bring down the Force Archer from the side of Virus team.
Chicken Nugget goes down already. 4v5 for now, and the Force Archer would be the next target by Ulti Plays. They're holding really strong here. Raphael down HP onto a very low state, but AOD comes to save him. And you also have Despedito, who brings in those heals at a crucial moment, and Virus is having so much of a hard time here. Innocent Zero already down low as well, alongside Bro James. One more hit, Ulti Plays. You have to keep on putting out those damage, but a shield coming in from Bro James, it keeps him up alive quite a bit. Innocent Zero running around here, just trying to buy time for the team with that BM2. Huge amount of damage, having eyes onto the Force Archer, but that won't be enough. They have to catch him, but the dash and fade will keep him up alive, and No Tail goes down as a follow through by Ulti Plays. Luna trying to deal damage onto the backside as well. Innocent Zero goes on to Palayo. BM2, huge amounts of damage, but that's not going to suffice here with that Force Archer heal coming in from Despedito. And once again, the disadvantage, the deficit without having any defensive capability of a class 4 Virus is just biting them in the back. And Bro James just trying to run away here, but Force Gunner going in for the chase. That BM3, that damage would be massive, and Ulti Plays will win it through and through.
Oh my God, that is a landslide coming in. Again, the greater heal played a lot of played a lot of factors here for the team of Ultiplays to survive, and pretty much Bro James tried to run across the map, but ended up dying in the process as well. But again, this is still Bro James trying to put out a fight. We still need 2 more count in order for Ultiplays to win. We are 4 minutes and 34 seconds in the game. There you go. Bro James still trying to put on the fight. Just a 1 versus a 5. I think they're trying to watch them. Luna, they're just trying to pit Bro James against Luna right here. Raphael stepping in and pretty much finishing the job. And that's going to be the win.
With that said and done, Series 2 will conclude. Ultiplays comes out on top, and they will win here in the round 16 seed into round 8 to proceed into the quarterfinals of the respective side. So congratulations, Ultiplays, for winning the series up against Virus.
Wow. I mean, the last part is a bit tough to watch. They just, I think they're just toying around Bro James, and they're trying to attack him, but they're just trying to pit him against Luna in that particular scenario. And then eventually Raphael stepped in and ended, Bro James a misery. So, still, they really tried and put on a great fight despite having a deficit in terms of defense. So we're going to be seeing the highlight right here, Infinity.
Yeah. So I think overall, it was a bit of an overextension for Virus, considering that they also do not have any Force Shielder, right? No Tail just went in for the Force Kick into the middle of pretty much everyone. And that is to consider that they don't have any Shadow Shield, they don't have any defensive capability buffs, they don't have a Force Archer. So that is also like one of the things that is a bit of a disadvantage because you do not want to overextend, especially in the situation of a 5v5. And then overall, it comes down into targeting here. Ultiplays did really, really well in terms of targeting the likes of Innocent Zero. Innocent Zero just trying to run away. Because the thing is, like, the important key aspects into these kinds of tournaments, into these kinds of matchup of a 5v5 lineup, is that you really want to put an eye onto those squishy targets, right? The Blader, the Force Archer, Force Bladers, Force Gunners, those Wizards. These are some of the perspectives that you really want to put down very quickly and very fast, just because they're very squishy and they also deal the most amount of damage, and you want to remove those. So those are some of the things that Ultiplays was able to utilize in that matchup.
Mm-hmm. That's right. As you can see, I thought there's going to be a reversal happening, but like what you said a while ago, they overextended themselves. Maybe they tried to go at it in a different approach, but getting burned in the process. So definitely, I can't say, I can't say anything bad about the bravery that they displayed a while ago, despite having a deficit in terms of defensive maneuvers, or having no defense at all without the shadow shield coming in from the Force Shielder. Still, kudos to Team Virus. You guys put on a very great fight. Still, we have a winner that came up on top, and that in this particular series, Ultiplays.
Yeah, for sure. So pretty much 3 series will conclude for the day. We have No Better Please winning up against Barang Hamog. You have H2K winning up against Mumu Runners in the second series for the day. And last but not least, the recent conclusion of our series, on our third series for the day, it will be Ultiplays that will win. And that will be on top, up against a Virus.
Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see these teams duke it out on the upcoming days of this tournament. So make sure that you follow us on our social media. Make sure that you hit that notification bell, notification button, okay, and make sure that you stay tuned, because we have lots of more. We have lots more to offer you guys as you watch the first live stream of the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle.
Once again, I want to give a huge and quick shout out to the sponsors, to the brands that made this tournament all the more possible. Thank you very much to Fantech and VIU. Fantech, if you're looking for a global brand specializing in gaming peripherals and accessories, Fantech is the best for you.
And of course, we have here VIU. VIU is a popular over-the-top streaming service that offers a wide variety of Asian entertainment content, including dramas, movies, variety shows, and animes. It primarily focuses on content from South Korea, Japan, China, Thailand, and other Asian countries. They will give 5 VIU subscription for 1 year during the duration of this tournament.
Damn. And with that said and done, let's look at the bracket. What has occurred, what has concluded here in the Cygnus server for Infinite War of Celestial Sea?
Mm-hmm. So I think we're gonna witness lots of matches this coming week. We still have more to cast, Infinity, but it really excites me, and I can't wait to shoutcast most of the games right here, especially on the other side of the bracket. We just witnessed the discrepancy come from Don't Kill Me, maybe No Bitter Please, H2K, and Ultiplays. So I can't wait to see what the other side of the bracket has to offer to us, especially to our viewers watching this tournament live.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're already down into the quarterfinals, right? You have Don't Kill Me, you have No Bitter Please, H2K, Ultiplays, already there already. And then on the flip side of the Cygnus server for the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, we also have a couple of teams running around and going across to see who's going to come out on top and go into the quarterfinals as well. So it's really exciting stuff. It's really exciting moment here for Cabal Infinite Mobile.
Mm-hmm. And wow, that is the master code right there, everyone. So make sure that you grab it, you type it to your game. Okay, you just need to copy it, log into your, claim it, and get rewarded. Okay, so it's R3Y7P1Q4. So once again, everyone, make sure that you log into the game and claim that code.
Yeah, and a lot of people will get those respective rewards, and it's quite massive as well. So really, just a lot of advantage for the viewers watching at home. You just tuned in, watch the live stream, watch the tournament, and you have so much rewards in tune for you guys.
All right, and of course, I think includes our first of the many shoutcasting for of the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. So I think we can wrap it up, partner.
Oh yeah, for sure. And of course, this is the first day. We have a lot more set to go for the viewers watching at home and for the fans out there. We have a lot of tournaments in store for the whole year as well. So it's good to keep an eye out here for the Cabalistas out there.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much once again for having us. This one of your casters for tonight. My name is Andwin, together with my partner.
I'm Affinity.
Much everyone, and
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.